No Barcelona, no system. Is Messi still untouchable?
Is a question that has followed Lionel Messi like a shadow ever since the day he walked away from Camp Nou. And to truly answer it, you have to strip away nostalgia, strip away comfort, strip away the idea of systems built around him, and look directly at the footballer himself, the raw talent, the mind, the instincts, the influence, the impact, and the moments that define greatness. Because for years, critics argued that Messi was a product of Barcelona, a perfect storm of La Masia philosophy, Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets, Pep Guardiola, and a system designed to amplify his strengths and hide his weaknesses. But football history is not decided by theories, it is decided by what happens on the pitch, under pressure, in unfamiliar environments, against new teammates, new coaches, new expectations, and new forms of scrutiny. And when Messi finally left Barcelona, the football world watched closely, not hoping, but waiting for proof that he would fall. That without the system, he would become ordinary. That without the comfort of Catalonia, he would finally look human. But what unfolded instead was something far more complex, far more revealing, and far more damaging to the arguments against him. Because Messi did not disappear, he evolved, he adapted, he suffered, he struggled, he learned, and then he dominated again, just in a different way. And the story of Messi without Barcelona is not a clean highlight reel. It is a journey through chaos, criticism, resilience, and eventual validation. Because when Messi arrived at Paris Saint-Germain, it was not a fairy tale, it was a shock, a trauma, a breakup that neither side was prepared for. And suddenly, Messi found himself in a dressing room where he was not the center of gravity, where the club culture was not built around patience and positional play, where the league demanded physicality and transition over control, and where the expectations were instant success without understanding. And his first season reflected that reality, because Messi looked lost, not in ability, but in rhythm. He hit posts instead of nets. He dropped deep, searching for familiarity. He played passes teammates did not anticipate, and he was judged harshly by people who measured greatness only in goals and not in influence. And yet, even in that supposedly poor season, he was among the top creators in Europe, leading Ligue 1 in chances created, progressive passes, and expected assists, while adapting to a new role, sacrificing numbers so that others could shine. And that season was not proof that Messi was finished, it was proof that football intelligence does not vanish even when comfort does. And then came the turning point, because greatness is not about avoiding struggle, it is about responding to it. And in his second season at PSG, Messi reminded everyone that systems do not make players. Players make systems. Because suddenly, the goals returned, the assists exploded, the confidence re-emerged, and he became the league's most influential player, dictating games from deep, carving defenses with passes only he could see, controlling tempo, and deciding matches with supple brilliance. And while critics dismissed Ligue 1, the same critics had no issue praising other stars who dominated the same league, because the truth was, uncomfortable, Messi was still Messi, still decisive, still unplayable, still bending matches to his will, even without a team built entirely around him. And yet, club football was only half the story, because the ultimate test of Messi without Barcelona was never PSG, it was Argentina, a national team historically defined by dysfunction, pressure, and heartbreak, a team that failed Messi repeatedly before he ever failed it. And if systems were truly responsible for Messi's greatness, then international football should have exposed him, but instead, it became the stage where he delivered his most complete, most emotionally powerful performances. Because the Copa America victory was not a system, it was a leader dragging a nation forward. The World Cup was not a perfect structure, it was a man adapting to chaos, managing games, controlling moments, and producing magic when it mattered needed most. And in Qatar, Messi was not surrounded by Barcelona midfielders or Pep Guardiola instructions. He was surrounded by young, hungry players and pragmatic tactics, and he thrived because he understood football at a level few ever have, scoring, assisting, creating, leading, and deciding matches against the best teams in the world under the highest pressure imaginable. And that tournament destroyed the final excuse, because Messi did not win with a system, he won with adaptability, intelligence, and relentless will. And when he moved again, this time to Inter Miami, the skeptics laughed, saying it was retirement, saying it was irrelevant, saying it proved nothing. But what happened next followed the same pattern as always: instant impact, transformation, belief, and trophies. Because Messi did not just play in MLS, he elevated it. He turned ordinary players into contributors. He changed how teams defended. He filled stadiums. He decided finals. He won trophies, and he did it not with speed or physical dominance, but with timing, vision, and execution, proving that even when stripped of elite surroundings, his football IQ and technique alone were enough to control games. And the deeper truth is that Messi was never a system player. He was a system breaker, because systems were built around him only after coaches realized that normal football logic did not apply to him. He moved where he wanted because he saw things others could not. He dropped deep because he understood space better than midfielders. He walked because he processed faster than defenders. And every team he joined eventually reshaped itself around his influence, not because they had to, but because it was the smartest way to play. And when people ask if Messi is still untouchable without Barcelona, they are really asking if greatness is transferable. And Messi answered that by proving that his core qualities, dribbling in tight spaces, balance, vision, decision-making, composure under pressure, and understanding of time and space, transcend environments. Because systems amplify, but they do not create genius. And while other great players have struggled outside their ideal setups, Messi adapted every time, even when the narrative turned against him, even when age slowed his legs, even when critics moved the goalposts again and again. And the most revealing part of Messi's post-Barcelona career is not the trophies or statistics. It is the way opponents still fear him, the way defenders still drop deeper, the way coaches still adjust plans, the way teammates still look for him in decisive moments. Because respect in football is earned on the pitch, not in theories. And even now, without Barcelona, without the old system, without the familiar faces, Lionel Messi remains the reference point, the player who dictates how games are played, the player who defines what excellence looks like. And the uncomfortable conclusion for his doubters is that Barcelona did not make Messi. Messi made Barcelona. And when he left, he took the essence of that football with him. Not the shirts, not the stadium, not the tactics, but the understanding. And that understanding is untouchable, because systems fade, teams change, eras end, but football intelligence at that level is eternal. And that is why, even now, even stripped of everything that supposedly made him great, Lionel Messi remains untouchable, not because he's perfect, but because he adapts, survives, and dominates wherever the game takes him.